Hello folks, mic testing 1 2 3. Let's get started. So this is part 10 of you know the upgrade, the Uptime Kuma upgrade. So I'm trying to actually finish that off. So let's see how we can do that. Just gonna make this small. So the last I stopped at was basically looking at what is the uh, like what is the group thing doing. So Uptime Kuma, the group thing doing, group monitor, and what properties of the group was being used. So if I go here, so this is where the monitor.js, the server side of, so you can see here server model, then monitor.js. So this is the server side code of Uptime Kuma. So here I was looking at what all different types of monitors are mentioned in the if else where they do some processing. So I noticed that basically you have a monitor type list over here also. I think here they add to this. I think for example the others over here add to this. So real browser, tail scaling and whatnot. So group and whatnot. Not everything, but some of these. Like for example, the others are actually mentioned over here, right? And I think the other things are mentioned here. Peak references. I'm guessing only. So this is kind of like the other than the existing list that has been mentioned in the monitor.js. So they've mentioned say real browser, tail scale, ping, DNS, MQTT, SMTP. So none of these is being used by us. So MongoDB, RabbitMQ, SNMP. So we're using group alone over here. So group monitor type, right? So this is what we have. So here, if it's part of this, then we actually call this up, and we get the group monitor type, right? So then after we get that group monitor type, we just call monitor.check, and then give the instance of the server. Okay. So if you click this, I think this should go to basically the group monitor, and the check should come up here, right? The heartbeat is the bean and all, that is fine. So it's a bean, heartbeat bean. It's not just like a bean, but it's actually a heartbeat bean, and it's part of the red bean node thing. So it's a red bean node for heartbeat, and if I just bring this closer to this, basically you can see heartbeat. We check the status, we give the message and all. But yeah, it is one thing is it is weird that the only one thing it is weird, which is here they say status is up, and if there is no last beat, right? So they get the last beat. If there is no last beat, they put the status as pending. Okay. But if there is a last beat, right? They check if the status is up and if the last beat is pending or down, right? One of these. So let's say it's up, maybe. Then this will be false. So then last beat status is up, for example. Then and if the heartbeat status is pending and last beat status is down, right? Then I mean it can be up, or I mean if it is down here itself, it would have come up actually. Yeah. So this would have been true, and this is already true because of this. Then this wouldn't come up at all. I don't know why they've mentioned this separately. This doesn't have to be here at all. Anyways, they could have just put else, or just not put any of this, or I don't know, like, because if you're saying that last beat, if this is pending, how can this be pending though? Because this will always be up. So you're changing it here, okay, but here I mean, here is where it gets the value, and if it goes into this, if it will not come here, so the value of status is going to be up. So this will always be false. So this will never be the thing, right? So this will never even execute. I don't know how I've put this here. Anyways, so this is the group monitor. So here, as we can see, nothing much is used up in a group monitor. They just have like a list of children that they get from the thing, and for every child they get the ID and get the previous heartbeat and all, and that's it, right? Um, and say if the group is empty, right? Uh, they say, I mean, here you can see that if the children, basically the group is empty, they just say group empty and status is pending. And finally, if the heartbeat dot status, so if you see actually, so there's actually a for loop. Okay, okay. Probably that's why. So this is the heartbeat of the group. Initially you say up, and then later you change it. That's why. Okay. So if any of them is in pending or down state, and the current state, like the overall state is up. So this is like the overall group's heartbeat. Okay. Then you say it's pending or down, and once it is pending or down, next time you see it's pending, and not up and all, it's pending. Or let's say it's down, then what if it's down though? It's down, then last beat is there or not, doesn't matter. If it's not there, okay, down, so it will come out. And if it's not there, then the file is inaccessible. Interesting. um, if there is a last beat, then it is pending. Okay, I need to understand this logic, but clearly the heartbeat status changes value, and this is a for loop. So once it gets changed here, it will again go through this and all. So it can be this can be pending, yes, because here you give pending. So if there's no last beat, then you say pending, right? And if there is a last beat, then you go here, then you check if it's up or down and all. If it's up, great. Then we go here, false. So this one is looking for down only. So this will also be false, and basically it will still be up, right? And whenever this becomes say pending or down, last beat, let's say there is some last beat. So when it becomes pending or down, I think this will not come up for pending. So this is gone already. For pending, it will come here. If it is down, then it will just be down, I guess. So I guess one of them will, if it's just one of them is down, then everything is considered down. Why is that? I don't know. Cool. Something to understand. I still haven't understood. I think I'll have to think through more. But the thing is, they're just using the status of the heartbeat, and with the server, are they doing anything with the server? I don't think so, right? So no. So that's why the underscore, I think, because it's not being used and it has to be ignored in the linter and all. Now the interesting thing is we have different, let's say, stuff going on over here, right? Like for the monitor, we were actually, for the group monitor, we were actually looking at very few things. Like, I mean, this is, whether I have to change the name of this. So this is not import, this is actually export from the server into the local. So anyways, this is all the groups and stuff. So I'll leave it here for now. Go to meeting tab, sting the call. Cool. This I'll just keep it as sample, right? I don't want any. I'll just say sample list of monitors, right? One, and list of monitors sample one, right? So this one, list of monitors sample 2. This is list of monitors, sample 3. Cool. So now I'll just rename this, by the way. Let me go and check. So I have this running here, Uptime Kuma. So right, so I need to change import to export, right? And then rename and fix export all monitors script file name, right? So so that's a rename, you can see. And so now I'm actually planning to rename this itself. I want to actually get the tools over here and just a minute, and actually keep it. So here, if you can see, this is Uptime Tools JS, and this is the Uptime Kuma API client, right? And here I'm actually doing stuff like I don't know, trying out things and in index.js and all. So I wanted to actually move this to the thing. Wait 1 moment. So I'll just move this JS to this is not a git thing first of all. So yeah, anyway, I'll move the JS into Uptime Kuma v1 to v2. Right now I don't really have anything here, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this. 1 moment. There. No, I think R is enough. So Uptime Tools, right? So this one does not have anything, so I'll just delete it. I'll move Uptime this. I'll say this is the Uptime Tools, okay? And now I think everything will become different again. It's not here, so I'll just close this. It's fine. Uptime Kuma thing. It's not there. Uptime Kuma pay client. Right. So this is there, right? And here you can actually see. Okay, so this one has the index.js and everything, right? So I'll just close this for now, right? And I'll actually open Uptime and then code down, and here I'll actually say any node modules, right? Let's get rid of that, right? Modules, right? So this way this will get so now we have this. Now package log is fine, I think. It has some dependencies of package log. I'll see package. It has socket.io clients, I'm fine with that. Test.js, I don't know. It is to test stuff, I think. So web browser, web socket and browser, upstream. So I think I'll just add all of this to do over here, and here also I'll just say to do. I'll just come and do these later, and I'll just say to do here also, right? So now I'm just gonna say add JS based tools code, okay? So I'll just get this and I'll just put this here, right? And I want to actually move the Python stuff to Python, so I'll just move the samples, and so I'll make a directory first. I'll make directory Python, and then move pip file, and then sample, and then list into Python. Right, so now I have that, and move delete all monitors, and export all monitors into Python. Right, so okay, move all Python tools code related files to Python directory, separate Python directory, right? So with that, we have this, right? So cool. Now I'll probably just push this later to my GitHub directory. So now let's actually look at what we have here. So I don't want to look at these. I want to look at index.js. So here I actually want to get I want to not just add here. So I'll just rename this to add monitor or something, right? Add dummy monitor example. Okay, so this is a dummy monitor, right? Yeah, so let me just rename so rename this, rename next dot fix name of example code. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to go ahead and look at what we have here. This is the example code. So it says type name and accepted status code. Accepted status code, they have to actually fix this. I need to create a issue regarding this. Maybe I'll just put here create issues regarding. So one is accepted status codes being necessary for all monitors, even if the monitor type is not HTTP related, but is actually HTTP related. Okay, and then I need to create, so basically create GitHub issues, right? And then the next thing to do is let me just run my Uptime Kuma, right? Cool, so it's running now. Now let's turn it. Okay. Now let me get my stuff. Close this. I think here we are. Yeah. So let me open up my Uptime Kuma now. So this is all running, right? These are all groups only, right? So here if I go to 20, I think the 20 doesn't exist. So let me see if it's getting successfully logged in user one. Okay. So dashboard 20 is not a thing that is there, so that's fine. So it just shows this. Now the other issue that I noticed was authentication. Authentication auth related fields are getting added to non-HTTP related monitors too. This is an issue in server side issue, UI issue in UI. there for other monitors too. We're creating the other windows. So UI has to refresh and clean up all monitor related data in your clean form with clean form data and showing add monitor form clean in empty, right? So empty. Cool. So with that, okay. So now the other thing is now for a monitor, for a group monitor, they have notification stuff. Okay, notifications I'm not going to input for now. So, but I can write it down here so that I know what to give and what not to give. Right? Notification. I can actually import that thing. Anyways, so here in group, there should be a notification ID list. I don't know if notification ID list is used, but at least according to the UI, these things are being shown. So I need to check it out. So this is not used, I think. Check once, and then basically, let me see if I can find a notification ID list, right? Okay. Okay. So now let me go ahead and check out. Yeah, this is the add thing. So, oops, where is it? Oh yeah, here. Start basically. Cool. When you say start a monitor, it basically does this. For adding, there's a separate thing here. So let me just save this, and the list is empty. And not use, I just check once and verify. Right. So notification ID list is one. Name type. So name type, and then interval and retries. Okay, these I have to give. So interval, right? So interval, I think I'll just give 0 here. I think here I'll just say retries is 0 initially, but you have max retries. Okay, you basically have retries is 0. So they do retry plus plus and all over here. Okay. So once they're done with all this unknown monitor type, they actually check if it's upside down and all that. And so here there's a big try. In the catch error, they basically do a retry. Basically, if there's any error, they retry, and you need the max retries, right? So yeah. So you need the max retries. Retry, max retries. So yeah, let's put that here. Max retries. Let's say 0 for now, right? And then okay. So then what is interval, max retries, retry interval, and resend interval. Okay. So think I've written it down here. Retry interval. Uh, for now, I'll just put this. Recent interval. Right. 0. Upside down. Upside down. False. Parent. Is it a string? I need to check that. Description tags. Tags. Notification IDs. Okay. For group, these are the things required. I want to check if this interval and max right rise are being used. So let me do that. So if you see here, if the error name is this and error is this, timeout by abort signal, message is this, then all that. Okay, if up comment here, it must be upside down mode. That's fine. So I think upside down mode is something that I have not written it down here. Yeah, upside down mode. I think I wrote down the parent thing. I didn't. I have written upside down. Cool. So upside down mode is also used, I think, if there is any like. So let's say you are in this thing. Any error occurs, right? This one. Okay, this is fine. Here I don't want it to see this for now, and they do upside down. If it is upside down, then status is flipped, right? So you do have upside down in your UI, so you can see that. Monitor group is the parent and tags. Okay, cool. So other than this, is anything else being used? Like for example, let's say we put accepted status code or any of these interval retry and all that. So interval, how is it being used? Let's look at that. Just a minute. Okay, so for the interval stuff, so we have, so here if you notice, it says interval, so it does use beat interval here. So beat interval is less than 20, then it's equal to 20. Too low, reset to 20 seconds. Okay, so if there is no beat interval, it's 1, it's made as 1, and then later it's, if it's in demo mode, then this is use, if it's less than 20, then that. And it should be there, beat interval should be there. And if there's no interval, they just assign 1 to it. So I think 1 second, right? 1, you can do that. Can you have 0? Yeah. Anyways, I think 0 might not be allowed. I don't know. Got to check, but yeah. So then they put beat interval in push. They're using it. Okay. Last beat and okay. They're using it here, which is way later after all of this. Let me just close this down. I don't need the push stuff, so once you're done with all this try and everything, let's say this thing, you get the catch. So before this try, you are inside this const beat. Okay. Const beat async. Okay, so the beat is basically here. You're defining a function, right? So this function goes on till here. Okay, so this function goes on till here, and your beat interval, basically here you have what do you say, the interval here. If the status is up, okay. If it's not up, if it's pending, then it says retry interval. Interval is equal to the retry interval, and what to do and all that. There is a beat interval here also if it's maintenance, okay, or else you just say the interval is this, and then you say beat interval into 1000 minus this. So if it is not stopping, then monitor set timeout for next check. So beat interval, so you are making interval remaining seconds. So beat interval is, let's say, this is I think in like microseconds, no, milliseconds, not micro is 10 power minus 8, so milli is 10 power minus 3. So you say, let's say 1 interval and 1 second, so then you just say 1000 milliseconds, and then subtract that from the beam time that they have, right? So time I think is calculated, let me see, let me click this. Time is interesting, it goes to x. Okay, so bean has a time field, anyways, we'll get to that. And then it says set timeout interval. Okay, so they do a timeout based on this only, which is based on the beat interval is based on the there is also retry interval stuff over here. If it is greater than 0, you retry, and according to that you just provide the beat interval thing. So, and so I think it is being used. I need to check more maybe, but for now I'll leave this over here. After this beat function, save beat function is being defined, and then that's it. So save beat, get a heartbeat, and handle errors. I don't know what is this anyways. So then it finishes by saying if the type is push, then do this, or else save beat. So who calls the beat though? Save beat calls the beat, is it? Because this is a function definition, this is also function definition. Save beat calls beat, okay, and then if there's an error, then it logs the error. Please report to this, and then so then it says try to restart the monitor, right? So it says try to restart the monitor, but it does save beat and says set timeout and then interval. Basically the interval is being used. Surely the interval is being used over here based on this, right? And then you also use, so delay the push type, okay. Save beat, and you are using the interval over here also. So before beat function is defined, I think what you do is you mention retries and then previous beat and all. So interval is clearly used, right? And then so interval is clearly used, max retries is clearly used. So max retries is basically based on how many retries you're doing, right? Like here, I think in one of them they use it. In group, do they use it is a question? I don't think so. Here you have max retries being used. Interval, okay. In beat interval uses this, and beat interval is used in the beat function, and if it is not stopped, right, then you just keep running it, beat interval, and that is based on the interval, right? So we just write it over here that interval is based on beat interval. Beat interval is based on interval. Beat interval is based on interval, and then max retries is related to retry count for all, based on interval for all. I think so for all, because here you can see actually this is being used for everything, right? Beat interval minus this, you need the interval or else this will go wrong. So that's why even here if you notice, if the interval is not there, they mention it over here, right? And then they go ahead doing that, and then if you go this way and you would notice that beat interval is being used and whatnot, it's all based on interval. And if interval is not there, they just provide some interval but do it, right? So this is the interval, and if there's nothing, then this 1 second is too low though. So yeah, and then you have retries, right? In bean status, once you do all this, I think is important true, and then you say send notification, and then you have unknown type and all that, flipping, and then if there's an error, then you talk about retries, right? So any error in this, you basically think about how to retry, right? Basically, if you go here top, your try is there, so catch, right? And then your max retries is being used here. So if let's say monitor something, group monitor something happens, then uh, it comes up here and it does this. So can there be any errors here? I don't know. Maybe there can be. So um, so if you go here, don't seem to have any errors, but yeah, if there is an error, it needs the retry. So any error basically, right? So it needs the retry for which you need to have the max retries. So here, if you see, there is a catch, and you use the retries. You make it make it 0 if this is the thing, and if it's up, and basically if it's upside down, and if it's up, and then you do it as 0, and it must be upside down. Not just reset the retries. I'm just saying. So if it is down, then basically you say if max retries is greater than 0, then you do all this other stuff and do retry plus plus. So we have retries, we have retry count, and then recent interval. So let's look at this notification thing. So here it says important for notification, send notification is important, is it important, and then finally I think they send a notification how only if what do you say, a recent, let me check, oops, just a moment. So here let me check for recent interval. So here you can see if the thing is important. Yeah, if it's not important, it will make it as false, right? And then they use the recent interval. So you need the recent interval, right? So this important thing comes from, is it first beat, and then bean status, and then previous beat. So is important beat. So if anything goes from any of these changes, then you need to give a, accordingly you need to say if it's important or not. If it's not important, you just say bean dot important is false, and then you make it as it's not important and all that, and then you use the recent interval actually when it's not important, right? So if it's greater than 0, then if it's down, and if it's greater than 0, then you basically do the down count, and if it's greater than or equal to, and so on, monitor send notification, again down count is this. Okay, so down count basically how many recent notification if down this many times. If it's down like some let's say some 5 times or something, if it's greater than or equal to, then yeah, you send it, you check the down count, and basically if it goes greater than or equal to this, then you just set, right? And they do this, how many beans have been like, like, I don't know how many times it has been down count and all that. They make it 0 only here, so multiple times it can be done. So if it's down for like some times, this is the status that's been stored here, right? So you need the recent interval also, and then you need upside down mode, yes, because upside down mode is being used to understand if it's up, then you should say it's down. If it's down, you should say it's up. So yeah, parent, yes. Do I need the parent and the notification ID list? Okay. So notification ID list, I think we might need it when we send notifications, because when you say notifications, you get the notification ID list. So you need it. So if it's down and stuff like that, then you need to send notifications. So it is needed. What all is needed and why? So to send notifications for important beats, right? For all monitors, including group monitor, right? So for all monitors, so beat interval is based on interval, and hence we need it. Need interval related to retry count, and hence we need it. Okay, so recent interval also we need it. When monitor is down x times, recent interval times, we need to send a notification. Resend notification, right? Something like that. We need to resend notification or send notification. Something to check out. So resend interval, retry interval is needed. Is related to retries, and hence we need it. Okay, retry interval type, all that. So parent description tags mode. So 2, 4, 5. So 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. Okay. So you need this basic stuff for all monitors. Name is also basic stuff. Name, type, right? And then description, tags. So you do tags, and then you have notification ID. Okay, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. What is this missing here? Max retries, medium trial, interval you needed, name type you needed, parent. Yes. So parent, I want to check if the parent is being used for anything else, and I want to see if anything else like accepted status codes is used or anything. So parent, you just say dot parent, right? Child dot parent is get parent, get all parent. When do you get the parent though? Get all paths. So when you need the path, you need the parent. Okay. Or no, I'll just say it's needed because also we need to tell that if a group has a parent group also. So yeah, let's just say this. So now accepted status codes, for example, for anything like accepted status codes. Do you use it anywhere? Right, so here you use it in the beat. Okay, here is the definition. This is this. You use it in a beat. You use it in a beat. Okay, let's just check it out. So this is the first definition. You use it here, right? So you use it when, so where are the types and all? Nowhere it's mentioned. The type is not mentioned only. So here the options are mentioned. Type comes up here only, right? So else if, so who is doing this? If the type is HTTP, okay. So if the type is HTTP, then we have get the status codes and everything, right? So clearly only for HTTP keyword and JSON query it's required, and for Steam, okay, that's it. So I think for now I'm just gonna chuck the others that I noticed and just use this children IDs. I don't need it. Is it mentioned here? Children IDs. So here this is prepare preload data and all. But other than that, you don't need to get it from somewhere. I think get all children IDs. So who uses this? Children IDs. Okay, this is recursive. This is used in prepare preload data, and then here get all children IDs. This is the function. This monitor.parent is not equal to null, and for edit monitor, right? So they call it, and even then not equal to it, then remove group children. Okay. For now, I'm just gonna go ahead and not provide the children IDs. Here, when you say add, I think add comes up in server. Yeah, so here I think add monitor comes up. So add, and then here login by token, and then login, and then logout, prepare 2FA, save 2FA, disable 2FA, verify token, 2FA status, need setup, auth only. Okay, cool. So here in add, can you see anything regarding accepted status codes? Here it is there, but anywhere else? No. They even delete it off, and then validate this. Okay, so I was looking at children IDs, right? So do you get dot children ID somewhere being used? Import this, that's all. So I don't think children ID and all is being used, so it's fine. So with this, I should be able to get all the data and put it inside the thing, right? So I'll emit it multiple times and all, and I'll just get it done. So now I want to actually export all the data, and this time I'm going to export it using this code, and I'm just going to say export all monitors .js, and I'll connect to 3001 for example, or maybe something else. Let's see. Login required, so you just log in, and then once you log in and get an OK response, then you go ahead and get the thing, right? So here, before you log in, I'm just gonna remove these right for now. Before you log in, you should start listening for an event. which is monitor list. It's being put here. So here I think I will get the monitor list data. So let me actually connect to this one thing that I have. Let me run this thing and then come back. One moment.